Listen, it is the day. This is Karen Sims. We are so excited for you to join us. Don't know where you're joining us from. Maybe it's Facebook. Maybe you on one of the featured YouTube channels. I'm Karen Sims, the Twisted Threads, and we are here at the Unhinged radio show live with no other than our Tilted Halo, bringing you all of the hype today. You need to know. We want you to be aware. You definitely are going to be using your Tilted Tribe passport today, because you never know where we are going to take you. I promise you, you will enjoy the ride today. Tilted, how are you?
Hey, Miss Karen of Twisted Threads. I'm doing mighty fine on this wonderful election day. How are you?
I'm doing well. You know, I did my voting early, so I got my voting out of the way last week so that I could just harass all of the other people today to remind them to vote. So we're excited about that.
Oh, yeah, it's very, very important that we exercise our voice at the voting polls, because, you know, I've had many conversations over the last week with so many different people who've expressed their opinions about this very, very, very important midterm election. I believe we are establishing who takes control of the House.
That's right.
We already know what it is with the two-party political system. You know, they always fighting. We gonna do better. We need the power. We got the power. We got the power, but we ain't doing nothing with it. But allow me to digress. I just really, really want to go ahead and say again, to chime in with my sister Karen Sims, thank you to each and every one of you for joining in with us tonight. I'm super excited about tonight's show. In particular, I am very excited about tonight's guest. But before we get into it, you already know what it is. Later on in the show, after you hear from our guest, who will be bringing into the room after his wonderful introduction, we want to go ahead and make you aware of what's going to be happening on tonight's broadcast. You hear from our wonderful guest on this evening. We're going to have a little conversation and discussion as we travel merrily down the stream. And of course, we're going to mix it up with that conversation you all have come to know and love as what's really going on. So again, I would always like to say welcome and thank you for tuning in to all of our replay viewers. We are diversifying where we're broadcasting on tonight, aren't we, Karen?
Yes, we are. We are broadcasting on every place that we allowed to broadcast this evening. And we're going to go over all of the locations in a little while, because we wanted to make sure that you did not miss tonight. Now, I always remind you all, get your Tilted Halo passport, because we never know where we're going to go. Listen, we are traveling across states. Y'all know, we always say zip codes and area codes. That's what we're coming for. But while we are out here in these streets, we're going to have the opportunity to reminisce. Are we ready for the intro, Miss Tilted?
Before we get into the intro, again, this might be a repeat fan out, shout out, but I want to go ahead and say happy birthday to our tribe member, Michael Colvin. Y'all already know what it is. We made that connection when I first started truly pushing the brand. I connected with this brother in the Ruthless by Tyler Perry group here on Facebook, because he creates some of the most funny videos that he posts on TikTok. And I promise you, he's got a heart of gold. He has a beautiful wife and family. And I promise you, he will make sure you get your chuckle on a time or two over the course of the day. So I want to, again, take this time to say happy birthday, Michael. We really appreciate the vibe you bring into the chat whenever you're not working and can participate in our live broadcast. So, okay, I want to be able to talk to our guest tonight for every single moment, every single minute, every single second. So let's get to that intro, Karen.
All right, we're going to get right into the intro, and then we are going to just continue with the show after that.
Want a little bit of everybody want. Hold tight and do it right, and yo, bro, watch how you sway. If you wanna be around and see another day, man, you gotta.
He has under his belt the Library of Congress, studied at Harvard University, Yale, and others. He became a filmmaker, have made and produced 8 films, 3 documentaries, over 25 music videos, 1 TV show, over 300 YouTube videos. His YouTube channel is Save the Arts TV, with 6,000 subscribers, but over 1 million views.
Listen, we are about to bring royalty into the room and family all at the same time, making sure we all good to go on all of these sides. You in here?
What's up?
Hey.
How y'all doing tonight?
What you in the pokey right now, Kilo? Where you at? We can't see you, brother. We can't see you, brother.
You can't see me?
No.
We cannot see you.
Y'all can't see me for real?
For real.
All right, so wait, why y'all can't see me? Hold on.
I don't know.
Because you touched something. That's
What do
why.
I need to press? Let me
got
think.
that cricket wireless plan? Is that what you're doing?
What about now? Can y'all see me now?
No. But since we can't see you and we can hear you,
I think
can I get a verse? Can I get a verse though?
I think Karen might have to press something. I think Karen might have to press something.
Let me check on the back end because something else is playing somewhere.
But no problem. And while we're trying to rectify our minor technical difficulty, I just want to go ahead and mention again what our sister Zion has going on. Again, offer her a huge thank you for allowing us to travel across this here country without even leaving our homes, pretty much, to participate in the Prison Break Conference. She actually introduced her new wedding planner at the conference. And, I got to let the cat out of the bag. I'm grateful that she trusted the God in me, as well as my editing skills, where I actually got a sneak preview of that book before she even introduced it to the public at large. And I promise you, this is the season of engagement. This is the season of many, many, many things that we shall get into discussion about a little bit later. But kudos to you. Congratulations to you, Zion, our sister, our friend from round the way of Nolans. We appreciate the work that you continue to do to encourage the hearts of men and women globally. And with this project, we appreciate what you've created to basically give a guideline to those singles who are preparing to jump the broom. So with that being said, I think we could see our guest right about now. Let him in the room. Let him
knock on the door. When we in the neighborhood, the neighbors knock on the door.
Knock
knock. We gonna let you in, bro. We gonna let you in. Ladies and gentlemen, we tease because most of the world knows him as Kilo. And I always say I call him the name his mama call him because she don't call him Kilo. So but we are excited to have a friend, mentor, musical icon, Rasheem Kilo Pugh, joining us in the Tilted Tribe. Y'all already know, one of Jersey's own, so we're gonna act up tonight. We have elevated. We're not doing red cups tonight.
We're doing the glasses.
We're doing glasses tonight. So it's still water. Y'all know.
Do that right there. I'm gonna do that right there.
All right, you're gonna do the emerald healing. We'll talk a little bit about that. Listen, we usually show that when we pour into the bottle, because some of y'all, when we get hype, y'all got questions and y'all like, what exactly is in those glasses that they might be working on. But we already said happy birthday to Mike. We may or may not see him in the comment streets. Y'all know how Michael gets down, but also love it because we are everywhere. So Kilo, I'm gonna try. We're gonna try. Kilo,
That's right. I'm gonna call him Kilo because that means he can flip some things.
We are everywhere tonight, so you will find us on the various YouTube channels, on Twisted Threads, on Unhinged Live. You will find us on Save the Arts TV, and we'll talk a little bit about who that is, what that is, and how that brand is really connected to a lot of the stuff that you see here. We're on our respective Facebook profiles, group. Honey, we literally everywhere tonight. And so
it's a digital blitz on tonight. We showing up and showing out everywhere we can possibly be seen.
All right.
All of the things. So before this, you know, we got a little bit of intro, Kilo, into your background as a Grammy Award winning artist, a cinematographer, the president and CEO of your own nonprofit, Save the Arts Foundation, actor, director, visual and multimedia artist, content creator, executive producer of Twisted Threads, Reflections of Purpose. Listen, we going back, and we want I gotta put it all in there.
Right, baby, pacifiers.
And you know, some of what we saw in the video was you, a younger you, a couple of decades ago. So longevity and being able to celebrate that, you know, this is a different thing for me today, Tilted, because Rasheem and I work on a lot of different projects together, and normally, you know, we might be sparring back and forth on the different tactics on how to get things done. And he'll say, "No, you need to do it that way," and be like, "No, we're not doing it that way. We're gonna do it another way." And so we find grace with each other to do some amazing things. And Keela, I just want to get into some of the work that you've done, you know, and some of the things that it might be common knowledge. Because when I say that this is, you know, one of the homeboys, I mean, going all the way back to high school, you know, when maybe or maybe not, we found our way into class, but we did find our way into the school. That was where everybody was. And, you know, it's one of those things that we've had the opportunity over the past couple of years to reconnect, not only for the reminiscent portion of things, but to work in various communities together. But I want to take us all the way back. To the story that you often tell about your connection with the great icon Quincy Jones.
Oh, Quincy Jones.
All the way back.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to 15 years old. Only child from my mom's. My dad had more kids, my sisters and brothers. Being in a room, listening to the radio, trying to figure out what I'm doing in my life early, and here is hip hop playing on the radio. Oh, I want to rap. There's LL Cool J. There's all these great old school legends that I was like, oh man, I want a piece of that. So as I started, remember when the party line came out and everybody was on the phone? I was like, while most guys was on the phone trying to hook up with girls, I'm battling rappers on the party line.
Bars.
I'm paying to battle. And then, you know, I had friends that would take me all around Newark, and we would just battle other rappers, and I would sharpen the skills. But then I got serious one day. My boy Latif gave me an opportunity to rap on his girlfriend's album, which was Vicky Martin. She made the song "Not Gonna Do It," no, not gonna do it. And then she did a cover of "Nowhere to Run To, Baby." She did a cover of that, and I rapped on it. So that was my first debut, was rapping on a club record. And I was probably about 16 or 17 years old. And after that same person, Latif, we went to it was a club in East Orange where they had these talent shows. And we went over there, and I saw another brother that I went to school with. He was in a group, Sons of Chaos. And the person who made the beats was a guy named Vader. And I saw them on stage performing. And when he came off stage, I was like, yo, that beat was hot. And we reconnected. And my boy Latif was like, man, you might need to get with your boy. He got some dope beats. And we went to his house one day, collected a few beats. I wrote some songs to him. He was like, yo, those songs are hot. And we formed a little unit right then. And I was signed to 45 King back then. So I'm one of the original members that didn't get credit of the actual Flavor Unit. Because I was signed to 45 King, who started the Flavor Unit. And I was there when Queen Latifah did her demo with 45 King. I was in that basement in Irvington when they knocked on the window asking how much he charged to do a demo. You know what I'm saying? And I was in there with Apache and Lati. So yeah, I'm part of that circle. So then a friend of ours named Amelia and Kevin in East Orange was working on an artist named Papa Chuck out of Texas. And they invited us to come to New York just to come to the session, just to see a signed artist. So we came over there. So I'm meeting Papa Chuck, and Papa Chuck got his whole crew from Texas, and Kevin's doing the beat for the album. So Papa Chuck just asked me that magical question. You got some bars? I was like, what? Yes. What's happening? He's like, yo, you want to get on this song with us? I was like, heck yeah. So I get on this song, and the song went back to the label that he was signed to Pendulum. Pendulum was the label where they had cool, diggable planets. I'm cool like that. I'm slick like that. So when the song came in, Charles Dixon was the A&R. The first thing he said was, who is this guy on this record? And it was like, oh, that's dude from Jersey. He wasn't even part of Papa Chuck's crew or nothing. He came over with the producer, and Papa Chuck put him on the joint. They was like, look, we need that guy. We need to sign them. And we had Pendulum Records, and then the same Kevin's wife Amelia called her girlfriend to let her know, look, these dudes is getting chased down for a deal. So she called her person, and her person was like, bring them to me, let me hear them. So now we had two different labels wanting to sign us, and we went with Quincy Jones, Quest Records, Quest Warner Brothers, and we went with Quincy Jones label. I don't know why we went with them, but it seemed like it was just a better deal. You know what I mean? And when you young and you hear them names, you hear, okay, I got Pendulum Records, cool like that and all that. Then I got Quincy Jones on this side. You know what I mean?
Quincy Jones.
Yeah, go in with Quincy.
Jones. So I'm like,
bet on black.
Yeah. So we did one single, but what we didn't understand was Quincy was experimenting with hip hop. He didn't really know hip hop that well. And we were a part of the experiment. So we dropped a single called Watch How You Slang. Did pretty good. But by the time we got signed, he had already had a couple of artists from California, Razcast, Saphir, and it was somebody else. It was us, OCM, and somebody else. But their artist wasn't selling good. So usually how record companies, how you continue to hear new artists come out is because one artist is paying the bills. You get what I'm saying? For that whole label. Somebody's selling millions of records, and that's allowing money to be there to put other artists out there to possibly sell millions of records. Well, the artists that was signed before us, they wasn't popping the way they were supposed to. So when they got to us, we was like number 3. We dropped the single, and by the time our single came out, we never even dropped the album. The label was folding, and we didn't even get a chance to drop an album. So it was like, the good thing was we was able to meet a lot of people. We got some fans. We met a lot of record execs, and we traveled. We had a tour. Where it's funny because where I live now in North Carolina, we actually toured here in 1994. I got a photo of me on the street, right down the street from here. It's crazy. So I said, God wanted me to come to this place. It's full circle. You know what I mean?
Full circle indeed. Full circle indeed. So I'm loving all the information that you're sharing, and it confirmed, and it should be confirming to so many of the creatives that are listening in, trying to break into the game. It just takes one moment. It just takes one connection. It just takes one opportunity to have them go records on your wall, like them you got right there, my brother.
Absolutely.
So, I have a whole question. We're laughing and we ha-ha and we keying, and we know that Kilo is not on your birth certificate. And there is a why in Kilo, because I always want to know why. Why did you choose the name Kilo for yourself?
Oh, Lord.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I didn't even choose it. It actually came as a joke. When I was younger, when New Jack City came out, because my name before, I was MC Lel C. Then I was Cool Sheem, because my name is Rasheem. So they called me Cool Sheem. Then I was the then Kilo came right there. And I attached the Kilo to the Sheem. So when I had a record deal, I was the Grand Kilo Sheem. That was my name when I had that. But let me tell you how Kilo came. New Jack City came out. And somebody kept saying, yo, you look like Wesley Snipes. You look like Wesley Snipes' little brother. You like you not Nino Brown, you Kilo Brown. And they made like this big joke. They made a big joke about it. And I was like, Kilo Brown, Kilo Brown, Kilo Brown. I'm gonna keep that kilo. I'm gonna keep that kilo, you know? And I ran with it. I just put the Grand Kilo Sheem. I just put it in front of Sheem. Because Cool Sheem, I was past Cool Sheem now. It was time to do something bigger, more aggressive.
I love it. I'm glad that you decided to flip records and not some of them strange things. All right.
Well, part of my story,
Oh, Lord.
it has some triumph in there. You know what I mean? Because I am definitely, and I love to tell my story because
I love
literally
when
people, a lot of people tell the story of when they were young, they were sold drugs, they did a lot of stuff. Me, I had a crew that was in Newark, and we were like me, my brother Cut. I called my brother. We met each other at 15 years old. We were under these older guys, right? And these older guys were like really known in Newark. They had the big names: Pee Wee, Kurt, Latif, Ishmael, all these big dudes. They older. I mean, I'm talking about they got us probably about 15, 20 years older than us. But these guys were like, I'm gonna just say it, they were like stick-up kids. You know what I mean? They were known for watch out for these brothers. You know what I mean? So we became young versions of that. So when I was 17 years old, we were doing a whole bunch of that at that age, and we got arrested. We went to see this one guy, and we literally were just coming to see him. We wasn't trying to rob him. We just come to see him and talk to him. And he called the police on us. And when they came, they locked us up. They found a gun in the car, and we all got locked up. It was me, Cut, and my boy 14K, right? Now, when they took us to the county and took us up to this big prison, Caldwell Prison. So as soon as we got to Caldwell Prison, 14K got off, and it was like, hey, his mother got him out. He made bail. Boom, done. My boy Cut was in there the next day. He got bailed out. Boom, done. So now I'm sitting in there like, yo, what's up, right? So my mother was like, look, I ain't got it. And back then, I mean, $1,000 was a lot of money. That was $1,000 bill.
Yes.
And she said, I ain't got it. So I'm sitting there like, oh, man, I'm stuck in here. Everybody in there getting ready to do 20 years, 15 years. So there's one guy, his mother's birthday or something was coming. He asked, could anybody draw? So I drew this card with this rose on it and put his mother name and everything. He took it out there. He came back. And when he came back, like, yo, my mother love that. Nobody better not mess with little man. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay. So then another night, everybody was singing. So here I go. Because my dad was a singer. So he gave me a little voice. So when they were singing Magic When You Came, I was right in. You make me so happy. And they're like, yo, look, man, got a voice. So then the rap conversation came up. So now I'm in there rapping. So these three dudes came and talked to me and was like, look, Lil N, I'm not going to say the whole word, but they said,
right.
N, yo, you got talent. You see your boys is gone, right? You see you still here, right? You see nobody bailed you out, right? You got talent. You don't have to be here. We better not see you here no more, man. And when they said it to me, it was truly out of care. You know what I mean? It was like some old head cats finally saying some good stuff to a young brother. And when I got out, that was it. I literally told the girl that I was dating, because, birds of a feather flock together. So when I was in the streets, I had a girl that was in the streets. So as soon as I came home, that relationship was over. I literally lived in my cousin's basement, like changing my life. Everybody calling me, come on, yo, where you at, yo? Come outside, come on. I'm in there writing an album in the basement on a cold concrete floor on a mattress, no box spring. And I'm just writing. I'm writing. Till one day, my boy Latif comes in and he says, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm writing. He was like, bro, look. He counted $1,100. He said, here, make it work. And then Veda had got, and matter of fact, this is prior to us meeting Papa Chuck. So we were on the street with T-shirts, cassettes. We had a song called Joint Yo and a song called Head Wet. for those that's listening, if y'all go to YouTube and y'all just type in OCM Joint Yo, and then hear where y'all hear that old single back in 1988. So we were kind of popular in our hood before we even went to get our, our record deal with Papa Chuck and everything.
So now I got to interject just a little bit because, you using street names, and these is people who literally, these are hometown names to me. So Veda, we all went to school together, was all in the same clubs together, right after before service. So Friday and Saturday night, and then Sunday we was back on the choir. That's a whole nother story. 14K,
we did it.
that part. 14K is actually my only daughter, her godfather. And so when I say these are the people that have surrounded me, a lot of times, and we got to bring Jesus in, and no matter what, God is going to strategically put you around people, even when you think you don't need them. So one of the things with Kilo was that while he out there making records and making music, I was literally populating the earth, literally. So we have conversation. He'd be like, Karen, you don't remember? Listen, I was home changing diapers. I don't know nothing about nothing that you talking about. But knowing how the full circle came about, we always stayed cool, always stayed together. And I started calling Andre 14K. I know him as Dre. His mama don't call him 14K either. She called him Andre. Rest her soul. But it's a lot of things because we never know how those connections need to reappear at a different time, Right. So we weren't always in the same connection because literally, what the people knew Kilo for at that time before he had his name was that stick-up kid watching back around him. Now, because we was in the same circle, that wasn't my issue, Right. So my children's father, they were in the music industry. They were out there doing their rap thing. 14K, the same thing, was rapping with that whole group. When we talk about the era of when we grew up, this was before Naughty by Nature was Naughty by Nature, before Flavor Unit was Flavor Unit. Right. We were just showing up at cookouts. We were showing up at people's houses. And these are the names that are now the icons, not just in one industry, but worldwide. And a lot of times we don't even recognize how the connections that we have will kind of transform our lives in a different way. And Tilted, you already know, I told her, I was like, listen, it's like my big brother and my big sister tonight. Is we gonna act up? For sure.
All the way up.
We gonna act up tonight.
In these 90 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
Because I promise you, this is an opportunity for two of some of my favorite people to come together and understand how their lives have not only impacted me, but now y'all get to be the beneficiaries of, I promise you, of what my everyday is. It's like, all right, we about to do this. What we about to do? What's the next thing? I promise you, two go-getters, one that is making her name in the earth right now, and one that has left a strong blueprint. So listen, we actually have some questions. We professionals over here, bro.
Yeah, we professionals.
We came through. Because it was like, all right, listen, homeboy coming through, but there's so much that we could talk about because I ain't gonna call you a jack of all trades or whatever the other one said, because we ain't gonna fight later. But this man has his hand in so many different things because I tease him. I'm like, he literally has like ADHD of the entrepreneurship. Because if you can make money doing it, he probably done made money doing it, and now he's teaching the class on how somebody else can make money. But one of the things that I think was important, Kilo, is not just your young longevity, but you're still doing this right now. You just got, you got music and television shows. You're making your own movies. You are giving back to the community, but also creating opportunity for yourself. Why? Because you got to eat. You got a family. We both match in that vein. Four boys and one girl. I think we both match on that side. Although, I tease with Tilted because I told her, about my laughing at you when Fidos came. You're a little lovely, and he like, you just having too much fun. I'm like, when that girl get here, And this North dude here that done raised 4 boys. Woo
Right.
wee! And it is a joy and a pleasure to see you, of course, following your young kings, but your princess and how, you know, she done broke you all the way down, but that's a whole nother story. We'll leave that for another time.
I think, you know what? I think she helped me correct some of the things I had from not being at home with moms so long. You know, I moved out at 16. So, you know, we out there, young men, we looking for mama's love in everybody's arms. You know what I mean? And then it get to a point where you get grown and you're still looking for mama's hug in people's arms. And then it started in my life, it actually started showing because like my friends, I would hug them too long. They'd be like, all right, Kilo. And then I'll be like, I don't know why I hugged you that long. Hey, you might not be here tomorrow. I might not be here tomorrow, you know. But the reality was when she came, I could just hug her and hug her and hug her. And she was like fulfilling that missing space. So I definitely appreciate my little one.
That's a nice explanation. Mine is she got you wrapped around all 5 fingers. And
Nah.
It's 10 fingers, Karen, it's 10. Not just 5, it's 10, both hands.
10.
Nah.
Oh, I promise. And you know what? She is one, you know, I was on the phone with mom and she like, bye, Miss Karen. Like, listen, don't call my name because by instinct, I'll just send stuff to the house. Like, listen, we'll add you to the group. But
talking about you gonna send some drums, man. Get out of here with that.
I am. I'm gonna deliver her drums because I believe that y'all gonna hide in all
Yes,
this.
please get her drums because we need another female in the industry just
That's
straight
hard.
blowing it down. Sheila Lee
As long as she come practice at your house.
She can come. I ain't got no problem with her coming through. I will have a set for her here and there. But I'm a drop off hers because I know if I mail it, y'all, she ain't gonna never get it.
Oh no, she ain't getting it anyway. Not no drum set.
So listen. I'm loving everything that we've discussed so far. I want to go ahead and take the opportunity to acknowledge our people that are joining in with us here in the chat room. We see our good girlfriend, Dr. Lamar Renee Spencer. What's up, girl? We see the beautiful Miss Free Little of the Simply Free Talk Show out of Texas. What's up, sister girl? You know we love you so much. And of course, our own curlipist, stylist extraordinaire, also another songbird who's also part of the Tilted Halo tribe. What's up, Natural D? I see you keeping it live up in the chat room. Thank you for always being here, holding up your big sisters. You know, I love the fact that you brought up the conversation about your daughter. And I think it's very appropriate, especially the conversation you just shared about missing the mother's hug and how it impacted your life and your upbringing and how your daughter came in and kind of filled that void for you. I want to go ahead and ask you, what advice do you have for our listeners, for the young ones that are coming up in the industry? You got any special messages for the youngins coming up in the music industries?
I guess the best thing would be, I usually say a more raunchy answer to a question like that, but I'm going to keep it more polite. And it's really...
use your big word.
And it's really, don't give a F when it comes to your creativity. When you start caring too much about people's opinions or who likes what, or if that person going to like it, or if they're going to play it, or if you're just doing way too much. Create. I have a son right now who last year was his first time making some money. He made $7,000 in royalty money just online, right? And he said, so what should I do now? I said, do more music. He was like, what you mean? Do more music. But don't you think I need to do this marketing? No, do what you've been doing. Because if you'd have did it double what you've done, then you'll have double the finances. Keep going. Don't stop. Stop thinking so much. You're not in a boardroom. You know what I mean? It's not a Fortune 500 company that you're trying to control. You're trying to control your own creativity that God gave you. It's a gift. So use your gift. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a painter too. And when I paint, I have this thing where I don't draw figures that well. I don't draw people that well, faces. that well. And sometimes when I step to a canvas, the first thing I do is I go, ooh, what am I about to do? And then I stop myself, take some paint and just throw it at it. Blah! And then it's like I threw the paint because it stopped me from overthinking it. I just threw the paint and then whatever, then I throw another color on it. Then I throw another color on it. Then it'll start shaping by itself. Because just by the splat, it created some kind of something that gave me an idea. And now I can start shaping it. But if I would have thought before I even picked up the brush, how do I make a face? I can't figure this out. I'm trying to think of it. Man, it don't make no sense. It probably would have came out ugly, number one. Then it probably never wouldn't have happened for a couple days. You know what I mean? So artists, they're battling with trying to sound like what's on the radio, trying to compete with what they already heard. But nobody wants to hear what they heard yesterday. They want to hear something new. When I cut the radio on, I already know certain records. I know Yolanda Adams' voice. We know Kelly Price's voice. We know Faith's voice. We know all of these voices that's been playing for the last decade. We know Beyonce. But guess what? We don't know that new voice that got something new to say that makes it to the radio. Then it's like, who this? Who's that? You know what I mean? And that's the one thing I want to tell artists. You have to be artists. Bob Marley always said, when you do music, continue to do music. Just create, just create, just create. Your gifts will make room for you. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to say to artists. If you're going to be an artist, be an artist. Be all the way an artist. Don't play with it. Stay with it.
Somebody hand that man an offer, because I promise you the Holy Spirit just came up and through here and I just got chills on that statement. Just be an artist.
Right.
And y'all already know what it is. I always encourage you at the end of every broadcast to just be. But we're going to get back to that later. Karen, you got anything to bring out in this conversation?
I do. We got a lot of accolades that we could celebrate. You got the records on the wall, with your and your Grammy for working on the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, all of the work that put into that. And I love it because, Homeboy's got the footage, like reminding us of these were the days and times that, you spent not just in the studio, but this was how you lived your life, to sort of chronicle and document what that is. So I want us to, kind of give homage in that regard, but also fast forward, because I kind of, some of these questions is for the people, because I know the answers just because of the work that we've done together. Where we mentioned one of the locations tonight that we're broadcasting on is Save the Arts TV. And of course, that is a subsidiary of Save the Arts Foundation that you started in about 12 years ago now. So in 2010, moved down here to North Carolina. We're not really neighbors, but we in the same state.
Right.
Not even in the same area code.
Right.
But talking about the power of that connection and what prompted you to start the foundation and the work that you have dedicated pretty much to the youth. So talk to us a little bit about Save the Arts.
Okay, well, that's how Save the Arts came about. Back in 2000, I was painting a painting, and I was just trying to do something, and I showed my uncle, and he said, you need to hook up with this girl, Monique. She has an art gallery, and she could probably hook you up in the painting world. So I met Monique. I showed her my painting. She was like, oh, that's nice. Do you know about all these other artists out here? And I didn't know. So she took me to an event called October Gallery in Philly, where it was over 300 African-American artists there, and I was blown away. I was like, this is amazing, and I'm not that good of an artist. So she invited me to be a co-owner of the art gallery. So I became a co-owner. So I started to meet artists and learn more about art in the art world. And I said to myself, again, I'm definitely not as good as these guys that I just saw, but I want to be in the art world some kind of way, and I want my name to be in lights in the art world. I'm going to figure this out. How can I do it? And then I thought about something that we went through, because we didn't get to talk about that yet, but the whole lawsuit that we went through about acknowledgement, and people don't get acknowledged. And I said, you know what? Some of these artists, I've seen their art on refrigerator magnets. I've seen it in stores. I've seen it all over the place, but I don't know who these artists are. I've never seen their actual face. What do they look like? What's their real name? All of that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to acknowledge artists. And I created this thing called Save the Arts Awards. And Save the Arts Awards, when I went to go register the name, a friend of mine that was doing the paperwork for me was like, you going to make this a nonprofit? Or you going to make this for profit? And I was like, tell me the difference, because I'm a songwriter, so educate me. You know what I mean? And I wind up with going with a nonprofit. So I said, okay, so Save the Arts is going to be a nonprofit organization. And but I didn't know nothing about how to work it. So my first concept was to do this award show. So I wanted to award painters, sculptors, architects, and photographers. Did the first show in 2010 in Greensboro, North Carolina. Had over 600 in attendance, and it was an amazing show. And then that's when I thought about, I need to start doing some things in the community. And then I was like, I'm going to create a nonprofit. Then found out my business was a nonprofit. You know what I mean? And that was the birth of Save the Arts Foundation. I worked with this artist right after Save the Arts Awards named Denalja James. And she was a poet. And somebody was supposed to come and shoot this video to this song we did. And they didn't show up. So it canceled the video shoot. And I said, look, we can go buy a camera and do it ourselves. So that's what we did. We went, bought equipment, started shooting videos. So I started doing all these videos and I got good at it. And then what comes after that? I want to do a documentary. So I did this one documentary called I Stand Tall, the making of the Stiletto Ladies, women overcoming adversity, right? And we showed it and it packed the theater out. It was sold out. So then I got the bug. I was like, whoa, I like this feeling of a sold out theater. I like this. The big screen, everybody looking at your work. This is crazy. I got to do a movie. I got to try it. So my first film was It Takes a Village. It was a film about 5 middle school kids. The reason why I wanted to do middle school kids is because, wait, I got noise in the background over there. So the reason I wanted to do 5 middle school kids, because I felt like the middle school age is the age that kids are not really heard. You know what I mean? When a kid is in high school, they got big voices. They 16, 17, they almost grown. They talking, they yapping, they constantly going. But when they 10 and 11 and 12 and 13, they're kind of silent, kind of like developing who they are. And I wanted to go into the world of the middle school. So that particular movie, It Takes a Village, is actually on all streaming platforms, Tubi, Amazon, YouTube. It's on right now. It's called It Takes a Village by Save the Arts Films. And that was the introduction to filming. So, and I mean, you asked me about Save the Arts. So I really feel, because I'm from, the streets, I like to do things that involve people in the streets. I like to go to the ghettos and talk and shoot films or do things in the places that most people are scared to go, and deal with topics that most people are scared to deal with. I want to be the Spike Lee of today. That's my goal. The message is everything, more than anything else. Putting that, because to me, I feel like when it comes to the foods you feed our youth is going to determine how they grow. So even everything that they see on social media and everything that, all the garbage, when you look at all the garbage, if you give them 100% garbage all the time, you're going to grow garbage. Point blank. That's why you have to have your parents teaching heavy. You got to have your spirituality to give to these kids so they can fear something other than you. Then at the same time, you got to have people like us that's putting projects, that's getting them involved, that's putting positive messages in their face and helping them put positive messages in their peers' faces. You know what I mean? So we have several kid films. It Takes a Village 1, It Takes a Village Part 2. We also have Find My Way, the musical, because when they came out with Annie, I had a conversation with somebody and I said, how you get Jay-Z, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, and you get a black cast with a black little girl that's talented, and then you go get a story that was just all white. And like, why they couldn't just create a new black musical for this black little girl? And somebody said, why don't you do it? I was like, challenge. Challenge. So Find My Way, the musical, is something that we're getting ready to re-release it. We released it on Amazon a few years ago. We got 4,000 views, and they sent a check for $11. I took that down. Yeah, we're not doing $11 for 4,000 views. That's not what we're gonna do, you know? Yeah. So I took that
No
down,
share.
and now we're getting ready to re-release that movie through Film Hub, and it'll be on Tubi and all these other platforms. So that's Save the Arts Foundation, a little bit of the creative side.
Super excited about that. And, you know, over the time we've been able to work together, and I think I came in at the Find My Way kind of inception, and have been working and just connecting with so many different people and folks of different backgrounds, focusing on economic empowerment. And so Save the Arts motto, capture the mind, save the body. And
Capture the mind, save the body.
When we think about that right there, that's an entire statement, vibe, it's a message, all of those things all together. Because, you know, when we say idle hands is the devil's workshop, all of those things, right, it just means that if you are not connecting your thoughts to what it is that's going on, it's going to be a problem. Kimberly, Fat Girl Freestyle, good seeing you in these internet streets. It's super exciting, you know, and I know time is winding down. I promise you, we can do this for probably 3 more hours. But when you do, I want to just give just a quick snippet, and then, you know, we want you to stay here and join us in some of our continued shenanigans over the next couple of minutes. You're going to see what we do over here. And I'm excited to have Rasheem Pugh. If I'm gonna say it, I gotta say the whole name, and then I forget. I'm feeling better now. Rasheem Pugh. I feel so much better now. Really, because a lot of times he's like, "Homegirl, what you up to? What you doing?" And so this is your first time since probably changing focus for Reflections of Purpose. You know, you've done a lot of work, and he's always like, all right, what you doing? What's going on? What's the next thing? If you got creative friends, you know, they expect you to create too, that part.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm somewhere, right? I got all of that. And so I'm excited for him to see. I told you I was doing something, you know, so hopefully this will give me street cred for 5 minutes. I don't know. I know he's still gonna be like, well, what y'all doing? Like,
what y'all doing?
What all going on next? But appreciate you joining us. And, you know, I would be remiss if we didn't just take a quick snippet. And I'm gonna say quick to you, because you know you a storyteller, and we will be here all night.
I can't tell a story.
Yes, you can. You are a good storyteller, a master storyteller. But you and I have had many conversations about that time in your life where you worked with Lauryn Hill, and contributed tremendously, not only to that project, but some others, because we're going to mention some things as we continue to talk. But you started talking a little bit about why recognition was so important to you. Give us the commercial version. The commercial version.
Hey, look, why don't you just give the people some of what they want? They want some of this Lauryn Hill story. Just go.
Yeah, I know. So you gonna give it to them. So I'm gonna step back.
Let me just give them a little bit, okay?
But listen, I'm gonna give you the preacher. You gonna get the church finger when we get to time.
I'm gonna fast forward it. You know, I'm gonna fast forward. I'm gonna do it real quick. All right. Watching Sister Act. Ooh, she pretty. Who that? Watching the video. What was the video? Nappy. Ooh la la la. Ooh, she pretty. There go that girl again. Oh snap! There go my boy. That's my boy in the video. That's my boy Tame. Boom. We hanging out. We in the my man liquor store. Tame comes in. Tame like, ooh, can I drink with y'all? Hold up, Tame. Who that girl? Can I get that number? he was like, I can't give you that number, but I can call her. He called on the phone. At that time, they had a record deal. The Fugees had a record deal. We had a record deal with Quincy Jones. We became cool. All right. A lot of people thought we was a couple in my hood, but we wasn't. We was cool. I couldn't, it was a blockage there. I didn't know about the blockage until later, but it was a blockage. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward, she's singing songs in the car, telling me getting ready to do a remake song, and I'm like, she like, have you ever heard of this song? And I'm like, no, never even heard of Roberta Flack.
Wow.
And song comes out, song blows up. She's on tour, calling me, not all the time. She just called me every once in a while. Hey, I'm in China. Hey, this is that. Whatever. Fast forward. What's my name? Wendy Williams on the radio. Lauryn Hill's pregnant. What? I call. Yo, you pregnant? You back? She was like, yeah, I'm at the house. Come see me. Get to the house. Belly showing. I'm like, what's going on? What happened? What just happened?
We were trying to get something started.
I'm like, what just happened? Like, this on tour? Like, what happened?
Oh,
So
wow.
she tells me at that moment, I want to work with you on a project. I'm not working with my group. And do you know somebody who can make beats? Yeah, my boy Vader make beats. You know somebody play keys? Yeah, this dude Ted play keys. You know somebody play guitar? Oh, Ted got a twin brother, Danger Hardy, play guitar. You lying. They at Vader House right now. I'll go get them. Went to Vader House. Boom. Brought them back to Lawrence. Everybody playing music. She said, all right, we're going to start by working on 5 projects. And we're going to see how it go. First project was, what was her name again? What was her name? She passed away. She's a songwriter. Well, I'll come back to her. We did Aretha Franklin and Rose is a Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Then we were doing, what is her name? She wrote Angie's song, My Sunshine Has Come. What is her name? She passed away. She's a friend. I can't think of it right now. But we worked on her record. Then we was getting ready to do Whitney Houston. And we were getting ready to do a rock band called Edith Wish. So we went in the studio and we working on this record. And some Sony executives from her label came in while we were playing the record. And they just like, hold up, stop, hold up. You got to start your album with this one. And that song was X Factor. So X Factor started the album. We went to Jamaica for 17 days. We came back. We worked on the whole album, but we had a whole bunch of songs that people never even heard. And then it was a shift where, I can't tell the whole detail because that's going to be in the book, in the movie, but it was a shift that something happened that we believed Lauren was influenced to try to basically not pay us. And the crazy part about it, I think the most hurtful part of it all was we wasn't just people doing music. Remember, this is a girl I'm trying to push up on. So we became real good friends. And then at the same time, not only are we friends, but I'm like your brother. I'm your protection out in these streets. We ain't need no security. You know what I'm saying? I'm the, we like your family at this point. So we were like, we were some brothers. Like if she had a problem with somebody, they didn't want that problem. Because she had all Nook boys around her that loved her deep, and the album, when we were creating this album, people always say to me, they say, look, how could you write something like that when it's Lauren and it's a girl and I'm sitting next to the girl. You get what I'm saying? We're talking about what she's feeling. She's saying, I feel this and I feel that. And I'm like this, like that. And she like, boom. Now, keep in mind, this girl stayed with her pen. She stayed writing her stuff. She's a dope writer. She's a dope rapper. I ain't never, ever try to take no credit from her. But the thing is, acknowledge me sitting with you. Acknowledge a word I threw in there. Acknowledge a verse I threw in there. Acknowledge that hook that I did there. I'm going to give you an example. I went to the store. This is so funny. Now, remember I told y'all I was a part of the original Flavor Unit. Queen Latifah. I loved all of them, right? So I went to the store to get a sandwich. And I came back and they were up there vibing to this beat. And I said, forgive the crowd, oh Lord. They know not why they sweat me. Now, that's a Queen Latifah verse, right? Forget the crowd, oh Lord. They know not what they sweat me. She was like, oh, forgive the crowd. Forgive them, Father. Oh, they know not what. Listen.
I felt that.
Listen. Listen, let me tell you, we was in the studio. I got footage of us in Jamaica, right? Where we're standing around this mic going, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? And then we get to the hook. And the hook goes, it got boom, 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 boom. And she go, bless, boom, 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 is the man, 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 boom, boom, boom. And everybody like, sounds good. It's rocking. But she wasn't feeling it. She wasn't feeling it. It's like, boom, this is not it. So we stopped working on that record. We get all the way back to Jersey to Perfect Pair Studio, my man Ken, right? And I go out again. Sometimes I walk in a room and I'm just humming something crazy. And I literally walked in that studio while they was playing. And I said, what a bomb, bomb. It's so silly. She was like, yo, that's it. She was like, that's it. Now, I didn't create What the Bomb Bomb, but that was it. You know what I'm saying? That was the formula. You just lost one. It's so silly. This is it. Now, check it out. The beat from Lost Ones, check this out. My cousin, Kaboom, told me, then what y'all should do? I was like, what? He was like, tell Vader he need to do Scholar Rock had a ball, boom, 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 boom. He is a super. Scholar Rock had a ball, boom, 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 boom. That's Lost Ones. That's Lost Ones. Those are the drums. Boom, 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 cat, cat, boom, cat, boom, 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 cat, cat, boom, 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 cat. Straight like that. You know what I mean? So it was just like, so make a long story short, that ended up being it was a sad situation because we had to battle for our credits. We had to prove ourselves to the world that we had talent. Every office we walked in, they was like, did y'all really do that? Bruh, hand me that pen. Let me show you this record I just did with Faith Evans. Mm-hmm. Bro, let me show you this record I did with Heather Headley. Oh, let me show you what John Legend just sung of mine. Let me show you what Anthony Hamilton just sung of mine. Let me show you this. Let me show you that. Let me show you this. And then it was like, they did it. They did it. They did it. And then it was like, oh, do you know that we actually existed prior to working with Lauren? Do you know we were actually signed to Quincy Jones prior to working with Lauren? We actually had a record deal doing beats and music, and I sung the hooks. And you know what I mean? And I mean, it messed a lot of people up, and it cleared the air, although it was sad because nobody wanted to do that to their little sister. We wanted to eat like you wanted to eat. We didn't want, you know what I mean? Nobody want to battle her. That was crazy. We used to battle in boys. I'm used to going head to head with boys. I don't want to go to head with my sister, especially somebody who I'm thinking is fine and beautiful. And I'm like, trying to be your man.
Trying to figure out.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
before you can slide in the DMs, I love it. I love it. You know, I got to continue with the name drop because, you know, we had a conversation, Rasheem, Kilo, Pugh, and I gotta say the whole name is what I do.
Kilo, what they call him in the street.
That part. So this was probably a year and a half ago. He was like, listen, I gotta put together I need a singer on a song they doing a television show, and I need to submit something. And this what this man said to me. He said, you know anybody who could sing gospel? Now I'm working with him on the business side.
The audacity.
He said, you know anybody who can sing gospel? And I literally threw something at him. I'm like, if I had a shoe, I would beat you with the whole shoe.
No.
And literally, it was, you know, it was a worship song. It was a worship song. And so he was like, you can sing this song? He said, come through to the studio. I said, okay, I'll come through the next time I'm there. We did a track, and literally that was probably it wasn't my first time in the studio, but it was the first time of working with an artist that gets an artist. And so being able to be behind the mic, of course, ever since then, he like, okay, now you need to get a studio in your house, and you need, like, he literally was like, here's everything you need. You need to go over there and go ahead and make some records. So it was funny because I work with him on the administrative side. But when he said gospel, like, I'm not really, I'm a hip hop head. I'm listening to it. Gail, you already know, all day long, but gospel is where my heart is. And so when he said gospel, we had some other things. We did the demo. went through that whole thing. Probably the biggest thing out of that, he was like, oh no, there's no way in the world that I could just be here and you not. And that same conversation that he said that he had many, many years ago, it's like, well, you know, I'm not this person and I'm not that person. He said that same line. I just need you to show up in here and be Karen. Let's blow something and literally cash all the checks. So that was the entire conversation. And he still encourages me. That's what
absolutely
on that. And the connection that I have with both of these two is because I talk all the time about how my sister Keita will come through. I call her the baptismal gangster, where it was like her and one of our other partners. They was like, listen, we need you to sing a song today. I'm like, well, I don't really know the song. You could sing the song. So it was literally like a sticker.
You gonna do the song, Karen. Sing the song, Karen.
In the baptismal pool area. So I'm sitting here like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'm gonna do the song. So we did the song and God was glorified. But it's one of those things that sometimes we don't think about where we kind of get to go, how much further we could go when we got people who believe in us. And so y'all know we always here at the Unhinged radio show live to remind you that it doesn't matter what you might think of yourself. And maybe you think, well, I can't do it like this person. That part. Natural D, you already know it was her and AJ. They was back. Somebody save me, okay?
That's why we be thugging for Jesus all day, every day, 365. What's up? It's good. We praise the Savior over here. And part of what we do is enhance the gifts, or at least pull out of folks what they don't yet know they have the capacity to present.
We're gonna call them the stick up kids for Jesus, because that's what they was doing back there. They literally it was a hold up. You hear me? An entire hold up.
The only place for her to go was in that baptismal pool, and I'm not sure if she wanted to get her outfit wet that day.
I didn't know where to go. You know, it's sort of like Red from the 5 Heartbeats. My office, I was like, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and head out here.
Call them, girl.
But I share that story because many of us have those moments where somebody has believed in us. They've said something to us, and you know, we didn't even get the opportunity to touch the service. So, brother, you know you're coming back. You know we're gonna.
Hey, look, y'all about as well spill over because you know we started late. Y'all in 20 minutes went by.
Your camera blanked out, and I had to do a little filler. I had to do a little filler. Next time we will not your phone, sir. Yeah, now I'm coming all the way from Jersey down to North Carolina for the world to see, all over the YouTube.
Don't worry. Tell the family I'm coming through. I'ma do the professional setup so that you get all of that background and that we had the computer there. I'm coming through. I'm coming through.
Y'all got no questions in the chat? There's no questions in the chat?
Listen,
what's going on out here?
Everybody is rolling. I mean, they are like, wow, these are amazing stories. Industry icon, all of the things. We got Gail. We got Gail over here.
Look, Gail got that new album. It's popping.
Listen,
I love that album.
I ran into Gail over here in Easton a few years back.
Awesome.
Attended an event, and she was one of the artists. I don't know if she remembers me, but I kind of pulled up on her, and I had a plate of peach cobbler in my hand at the time. But I was just in awe of the passion she was able to emit through every single note she sang. So I'm calling you out, Gail. You know you next over here on the platform.
She get heavy rotation in my car every day. And then I get a car and just comes on.
Listen. Gail is family as well. She already know, and a testament to the dream does not die. Okay, I remember when Gail was in teenage. Now we queenagers. That's what we call it, Gail. We queenagers now. But listen, when we were teenagers and there was a fire then, that fire doesn't die just because life happened. Listen, when you said, Rasheem Kilo Pugh, that Your gift will make room for you. We never know the time of the day that activation comes. But honey, if you keep on with it, the day and the opportunity is gonna come. Gail, you know we coming for you. So you know we
Right.
want to hear about the album. We want to hear about the process. We see you in those Jersey streets being celebrated not only as a musical icon in 2022, but also as a fashion icon. Okay, we taking away from Kilo's time.
Hey,
You know he gonna
guess
get
what?
Kilo
you.
said, I'm reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time. We started late. We started late.
But look, here's the reality. Gail is a part of my story too.
Yes.
That was my girlfriend when I was a teenager.
Hey.
Okay, she was Queen. She was the rapper Queen Unique, and we was UPA, United Poet Association.
Lordy. We ain't putting your business out in the street. But she is a happily married woman, like you a happily married man for two separate people looking good. Okay, that part.
Yeah, this will be the extended version of the Unhinged Radio Live show on tonight. I am so appreciating the Jersey vibes that are flowing between here and there's different locations down there in North Carolina. Oh my goodness. What else is going on out here in these common streets?
Oh Lordy, we so excited to hear from you all. You know, I'm gonna make a mention because I think I could do it shorter than you, Kilo. So I'm gonna make the mention of some of the things and the places that you done showed up. Because listen, this gonna be a 3-hour show. So one of the things with the cinematography, you know, back in 2020 when we all were kind of just all over the place and things were upside down, Greensboro has always been known for kind of being forerunners in the civil rights movement and a lot of the things that were going on. And the work with Save the Arts Foundation and Save the Arts Film really kind of came together with the Greensboro History Museum. And so a lot of the work that was going on there was an entire exhibit took up the whole floor. If you want to know more about it, you can Google that, Greensboro History Museum, and you'll see it. The exhibit was called Pieces of Now. And Pieces of Now was super dope because it featured a lot of local artists. It featured the local representatives, so community representatives, activists, teachers, just regular people. You know, we had people who were emerging artists, emerging songwriters, emerging everything. Okay. And
well, let me tell you a funny part about that is when I got contacted by Rodney, he only wanted me to video a podcast.
Yes.
And then it turned from me videoing little podcast segments to me doing a 3D walkthrough of the museum, doing poetry on the wall, doing music, doing all kinds of stuff. And it won, I think it's at 5 different awards now.
Listen, I want to name some of those awards. It's Pieces of Now, Murals, Mass, Community Stories and Conversations winner of History and Progress Award from the American Association of State and Local History in 2021, the Gold Award in Research and Innovation, the Silver Award for 2020 Response Media and Technology Muse Awards for the American Alliance of Museums in 2021. And there are more and more and more. When I tell you the impact of this actual whole exhibit. So there was poetry, there was a table that we talk about Rasheem Pugh being a visual artist. He created a table, and actually there are 2 tables, and the tables represent the lives that were lost from police brutality and the powerful messages. Like when I tell you we out here joking and laughing, this man's artistry is literally in museums, traveling the world so that people get to keep the conversations going. The significance of Pieces of Now was literally how do we pull all of the pieces of right now so that we can do better. Now listen, I want to shout out one of our homegirls partners and a person who literally just kind of connects with us on so many different areas. And so Nikisha Wrights, Nikisha Brown, who pen name Nikisha Wrights, is a artist, a poet, I think now a rapper. What else? All these things. I blame Kilo for that because half of us wasn't in the music until and now we all artists, we all something else. But I want to share a piece that is a part of the pieces of now representation, and this is written and performed by Nikisha Wright, filmed by Save the Arts, Kilo, Rasheem, Pugh, all of the things. And I want to share because there's it's a powerful message that we get to share, and then it'll allow us maybe we might segue. We gonna see. I told y'all get your passports because we don't know where we go.
We are human, perfectly pieced, designed with all the flaws imaginable. No time to shed tears over tough times or goodbyes. Our backs break, but we still climb. We lived it. And mental suicide kept us dwelling in the past. The world tends to relapse. Visions start to clash with the present state. Can't erase pain, but we still have time to heal together, to build together, to stand strong as one unit, choosing love over hate. We can control our fate if we erase the color. Become sisters and brothers like we were intended to be. Take off the shackles and embrace the peace, then watch us live in unity. It's a choice. What do you choose? We are human, perfectly pieced, designed with all the flaws imaginable.
All right now. Listen, shout out Nikisha. You know we can't do a piece without dragging you in with us as well. So we appreciate all of the work and just all of the accolades that have been represented. So much for us to celebrate, you know, as we come together as friends, as family, as just listen, grown folk. Could we just take a moment to give a shout out for getting grown? Because this was the race to the big people's table our whole life, and now guess what? We are the big people at the table.
That's right. That's right.
We are the ancestors. We're the elders now, and so we're moving.
Oh Lord, they done let us be the elders. What is going to happen?
Listen, okay. I'm just saying what it is. The rest of it. So altar is available to you because that's all I got to say on that. All right, whether it's the red cups tonight, we're Zion, we're Tante that.
Tonight we got a little grown with it because we had such a celebrated guest with us on tonight, so we decided to get a little fancy with it. All right, so look, that was an excellent segue into the next part of our show. Listen here, this is again the Unhinged radio show live, featuring our well-celebrated guest, Rasheem Pugh. I'm going to call him Kilo because that's how he's known in these here production streets. And I really appreciate so much of all of the artistry that you've been able to flip and the awesome legacy that you're leaving for generations to come. So look, we about to get into it. This is one of our favorite roundtable segments here on the show. What time is it, Karen? What time is it, girl?
That's a good question.
8:13.
That is the time. That's not the time.
It's time for what's really going on.
What's really going on?
What's really going on?
What's really going on?
What's really going on?
What's really going on? All right.
Look, let me stop. Y'all know I got bars and beats too. But check it out. We already know that it's election day, and hopefully you've joined us after you visited your local voting polls on today. We don't care who you voted for because that's not necessarily our business. But what we want to make sure that you've already done, I hope you used your voice in casting your vote today. All right. So that's enough about that because, you know, we got things to talk about. Do you know that it is still cuffing season?
Hold on. Listen, we got to introduce to some and remind to others the importance of the PSA that it is cuffing season. We ready for this conversation here? Kilo, you ain't ready. You don't know nothing about cuffing season.
What?
I'm glad you asked.
Look, I'm not even familiar with the term. I'm like, what is cuffing season?
It is the cuffing season. Cuffing season is commonly known amongst the single folks around these parts and perhaps even globally as the colder months, the cooler months of the year, where singles everywhere go and search far and wide for somebody to keep in the cuddle up, if not simply for the warmer months. Maybe it turns into a lifetime boo thing situation and might even end up with a ring a time or two. But yes, we are in the middle of cuffing seasons. And you know, I gotta share a story because y'all know I'm still of the single tribe, praise God. That's gonna end soon because anyway. So
now before you go into your story, I need us to kind of go through the timeline for the cuffing season.
Give him the playbook, Karen. Give him the playbook.
So listen, here's the challenge with the cuffing season. Cuffing season is sort of like the club right before last call. Everybody look good to you because you might need a place to stay. It might be cold outside, so you will kind of deal with things that maybe you wouldn't during the summer months. See, everybody, summertime, we outside, we being cute. During cuffing season, the ones that are the master players usually want to tell you all of the wonderful things about yourself so that they could get into your home during the winter months. Because they just like
they homeless. Let's say it, they homeless.
So they trying to make a situation out of 15 cents. That part. And so they need somewhere to stay for the winter months because you can't really jump from place to place in the winter. That's hard because you got to keep a winter coat. You need a place to put your boots. You need a place to like really have your stuff. So during cuffing season, listen, Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. So usually cuffing season start in about September. That's when we do the pre-select
preliminary interviews. The
preliminary interviews start in September. October, you have made your selection on where it is. That means you zoning in on a one or two homies or honeys that you are going to put your focus on so that you're going to make this thing work. Why? Because it got to work because you can't be outside when it's cold. Listen, by October to November, cuffing season, we in the playoff season right now, okay? This is the playoff time of the season because now the selection has been made and they are now going for the full kill. Why? Because somebody's heat bill is about to show up. So we need to make sure all of the bills are paid, that the refrigerator is full. Listen, we told y'all we was going to have shenanigans and I purposely did not tell Rasheem Kilo Pugh what cuffing season was and made him wait till now to know what it is. Now, here's the deal. Between November and December, this is the championship of cuffing season. Because now you got to figure out, am I going to stay with them long enough that I have to buy a holiday gift? I might have to be around before Valentine's Day. So if you got a birthday in January, you might get a birthday gift. But here's the thing about cuffing season. Cuffing season ends February 1st. Because they're not fitting to buy you no Valentine's gift. So they going to on February 1st. So from September 1st to February 1st is cuffing season. Now, we're going to talk to you right now, and I'm going to pass the mic over to Tilted so that she can talk to you a little bit about the dangers of being available during
the cuffing season. During the cuffing season. Now, I'm not, I got to change a little bit of the scenario to protect the innocent, and as you often remind us, Karen, it is very, very important that we keep the body count low at some of our shenanigans. So, I had someone, slide up DMs and instigate conversation. And, brother sounded right. The picture looked okay. But, you never know if that picture was from yesterday or yesteryear. But allow me to digress. Old boy was spitting serious game. And what did the prophetess's Destiny's Child say? Oh, he looking good and he talking right. Hey! Well, anyway, boyfriend in my DMs, and we had the hour-long conversation, And he mentioned some things in his felonious past. You know, we try and practice forgiveness, and because everybody has the ability to change. But I think old boy neglected to hear me when I told him I work for the good government. And not only do I work for the good government, I am just an inquisitive sister by nature. So, you know, PSA, ladies, because had I not been the sister that I am, my fingers may not have led me to the internet after asking him his last name. And baby, I tell you, I came up upon his entire prison docket from his felonious behavior. And because I am who I am, these are trifocals that I'm wearing. I read a lot. So I had time that day. I decided to read every single document on his rap sheet. And one of the letters that he had submitted to the court, he had asked for a compassionate release from prison. All right, at some point. And as I was reading, it said his reason for requesting it was because he had human immunodeficiency virus, which we commonly know as HIV. Ooh. Yeah, you know, I got to turn a funny situation into something serious to make sure you ladies are paying attention. And many of you gentlemen, too, make sure you do your research as you are participating in the cuffing season activities and shenanigans. Again, thank God, first of all, I just ain't the one to be played with. That's that Virgo power in me that just continues to rise up. And I listen to my female intuition that let me know he talking too good. He talking too fast. I found some information online by simply asking a question. Y'all know that's why there's a Y in Tilted Halo. So I was able to save myself the aggravation and the headache and basically save my own life, because I had gone ahead and done my own research. So I'm going to invite you all at this point and what's really going on. This is really going on out here. I'm praying for the young women that this man may push up on, who may have low self-esteem, who might be at thirst, to the level of parchedness out here in these data streets, that they're willing to just take anything to be laying next to a warm body at night. Do your research. Protect yourselves and understand, single don't mean something is wrong with you. Single means that is your opportunity to create. Single means that is your opportunity to redefine yourself. Do your mirror work in this season. Look at you. Fine tune you before you try and, lay up next to something fine that might be your final destination. But let me get up off that.
Not the final destination. Wowza. Listen, I'm feeling that one.
Yeah, right over there, Kilo.
It's heavy. That's heavy.
Yo, it's going down out here. And it's snakes in the grass. It really is. And some of us are snake charmers. So we know how to get the information we need out of folks when they call themselves trying to pull up too fast. I'll immediately ask you to pump your brakes, because I got to check you out, boo.
You gotta get
Tilted Halo ain't for the weak, the weary, or faint at heart. So be ready when you come over here.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, we done gave you the PSA. We gave you the warning. Proceed with caution. We know that, there's a lot going on during this time. Some of y'all just don't want to show up to the family gathering at the holiday time without your plus one, or maybe you got to go to something and your ex is going to be there. It ain't worth the extra stress just to be fronting. Don't be fronting. Okay. We're going to take it back in that one there, and keep yourself safe. And also, listen, you also got to evaluate and think, is it worth you having an extra person to buy gifts for during the holiday? Everybody ain't worth your coin. So
it's inflation and things right now. Save your dollars.
And your life.
Buy some stock.
And your life. But what we buy? We didn't want to go there. Buy some
options, yo.
Buy some, get you some options, and we not talking about the booze. All right now. Listen. We done already did the election day recap. You know, most of us are not going to know who actually won the wins until the morning. So go ahead on and, you know, and get you some sleep. And one of the things, you know, I know some of us in these lotto streets might be cuffing after that. Are we at 2 million yet? I know we was at 1.9.
We was mad close.
Billion. We was at 1.9 billion, I think is what the Powerball was. So for those of you saints who play and pray, God bless you. We here for you. That's why. So we just want to let you know. If y'all one of them.
So check it out. Because our illustrious guest on this evening did a video recently and shared his thoughts on the recent murder of Takeoff, one of the members of the rap group Migos. Right. And on our broadcast last week, of course, I went on into the Wikipedia because, you know, they stay trying to record people's information and business. And they had published a list of 60 rappers who had been murdered in the year 2022 alone. And, you know, we're familiar with many of them. And coming into recent times, with Takeoff being murdered, that's another talent that was silenced far too soon. You know, and some of the off-air conversation that Karen and I had, we basically took the time to jot down the note that Black men deserve to grow old. So we want to bring that into the conversation at the table here on tonight with what's really going on, and absolutely get your take on this tonight, Kilo, because you shared some hefty nuggets in that 10-minute piece that you shared. Can you broaden that out for those who may not have seen it?
I think when it comes to the youth, it's really up to guys like myself that are really controlling the business. I mean, when I say myself, you got guys like they're in their 50s. Some of them are not even 60 yet, but they're like they're like the middlemen between the young folks and the old folks cutting the big checks. You know what I mean? It's like these middle-aged brothers that's around my age that can tell these young brothers, hey, it's just a song, get paid, take your money home, whatever. Or you can tell these guys, like, what you're doing is really real. Live that life, be about that life, be about, if you say it, then do it, and all of this crap that leads them to literally getting killed. And at the same time, one thing I've learned about the messages is if you put it out there, if you call the devil over and over again, he gonna come. And that's just a fact. You know, he's definitely going to come. And the crazy part, just to tie that into back to a little bit on Lauren, that album, people want to know why that album had so much going on at the end. But a lot of people don't know that in that album, it's about 4 or 5 different religions in that album. Islam, Rastafari, Christianity, all kinds of stuff. So if you use the album and you keep saying God, 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 then now the devil has put a spotlight on you. And he's saying, okay, just slip up one good time. One good time. Because you got the whole world thinking you this and that. Oh, give me one moment. And as soon as you make that slip, bow. And to some of these people, it cost them their life. You know, it cost them their life. It cost them their credibility, all kinds of stuff. You know how many people say somebody is crazy? Like a lot of people say, oh, Lauren's crazy. Oh, Lauren this, Lauren. I mean, that girl got a degree in history. The girl's smart as a whip. But when you play, it's kind of like, I'm going to just say, when you play with God, God show up and the devil show up. Like, oh, can I have this one? Can I play with this one? You get what I'm saying? Like,
oh, yeah.
Because it was one thing that I read, and it was said, the devil asked God, grant me respite over every human being, front and back and side to side. And God said, I grant you that. And whoever follow you will be in the hellfire with you. So it's kind of like God told the devil, hey, look, I'm going to let you try to tempt whoever you can. And whoever rock with you, they're going to suffer the same consequences with you. So it's literally that in the streets. I remember having friends that would do something, go to jail, and they come home, and I say, all right, look, you paid your debt. Straighten up. Now you're gonna go through a struggle because the devil gonna test you. You're gonna go through a struggle, but if you pass that test, God gonna reward you. You know what I mean? And some people, they just couldn't believe it. They was like, nah, bruh. I was making money before I went in. I came home, and I sat here and I tried to find a job and I tried to do this. But it ain't happened fast enough. So I went back and got another loan from the devil. You know what I'm saying? And the devil come back from his and he snatch his from you. Big time. He snatch your life, You know how when they talk about people dying a certain way, they says you can die where it's an easy death. You could die where your soul is snatched from you in a horrible way, in the torment of the grave. And I ain't gonna go that deep and all that, but it is deep. It is deep. And when it comes to this rap game, I mean, we say rap, but it ain't no different than them board meetings at Verizon. They do the same thing to people's souls. They tempting people. They using people. You know what I mean? It's like it's a game. It's like a game where a certain amount of people are considered to be important, and then a certain amount of people, it's like we can use them. You know what I mean? And now the rappers have become the people that once were important. They was important at one point because they fed the record companies. They fed the machine. They kept the machine going. But now they can feed the machine even when they're dead. So now it's not important to keep them alive. If I sign an artist to a contract and I say, all right, we're going to do a record deal for $1.2 million and I owe you 100-something thousand up front, and then we're going to do your album. You go buy your car, go buy your house, buy your mama something nice. We're going to work on a few albums. But guess what? If you die after that first album or that second album or whatever, I got a $500 million insurance policy on you that you don't know about. So as soon as you die, guess what? We're going to sell more records. I get that check from over here. And guess what? I get to repeat the process with another dude from another hood. It might be one of the dudes that shot you. I might sign him. If they don't care.
This is industry talk, and it's real life. It's real life.
Yeah, it's the new drugs.
And not for nothing, isn't this basically what we're witnessing in the Kanye West situation right now?
Kanye West situation is a different level. It's like if you're not aware of books like New World Order, The Jewish Phenomenon, Behold the Pale Horse, The Unseen Hand, if you don't know anything about any of them books, then you don't really know who Kanye is actually going up against. Because those books identify the people we don't see and the powers that are there. So every time Kanye is opening his mouth, he ain't really, he's talking to us, trying to tell us that they exist and what they're doing. But because most people don't know who they is, it just sounds crazy. It's like, what are you talking about, Kanye? You talking about the people at Adidas? What are you talking about? He ain't talking about no people at Adidas.
No, he is not.
Yeah, these people are, these people way beyond that. And what he's trying to do is it's almost like it's one of those wars that you really don't have to fight. Because as a black man, you look at your black people going through stuff and you say, I got to stand up for my people. I got to stand up for my people. So you figure like you got to put yourself out there in a certain way and possibly die trying to stand up for your people. But at the end of the day, this ain't really just your people. Right. This is God creation. God got this. You can't do God's work. You know what I mean? Some of us gonna be good black people. Some of us gonna be bad black people. God got everybody under his thing. You know what I mean? Some people he got the rich like he got the poor. He got the north like he got the south. He got the east like he got the west. He's covering all of that. Only thing you have to really do is remember why you're here in the first place, why you was born. You know what I mean? Take your test of life. Be conscious of your deeds and actions. Help as many people as you can. Educate as many as you can. And guess what? If you have to die for something, die for something. But at the same time, don't think you're going to die for the whole world and everybody going to remember that, because they're not.
That's right.
We already got so many martyrs that we can read in the book, and the world is still the way it is. So it shows that, hey, it's the way it is because God is allowing it. If you go back to that statement where I said, the devil said, grant me respite so that I may sit on in front, left, right, and front and back of every human being. God gave him that permission to be here, to do what he's doing. He gave him that. So no man is going to stand in the way of the devil doing what he said he want to do. He got permission to do what he's going to do. You know what I mean?
They don't like that kind of preaching. They don't like that kind of preaching.
But it's true.
So it's like, so when people pray, when you pray, oh, I pray that these devils stop, huh? God said, no, you focus on what you got to do. I got that part.
That part.
I got that over there. Don't worry about what they doing over there.
You hitting a whole thing there of, when you know you covered. When you know you covered, there are things where it literally is going back to what you said earlier of be the artist, be the person that God has ordained for you to be, and he's going to bring the people on alongside of you, the other administrative folks, the graphic folks, the people who will take it to the next level if you focus on what lane that he put you in. And a lot of us, we get, and whether it's young cats, old cats, me being a mother of 4 boys, God has given me a great love for our men. And so, understanding that you all are the backbone of a lot of what we could do more of if we allow for you all to be in celebrated positions. I say what I say, come for me in these internet streets if you want to. It's important. It is important. And so, as you're saying all of that and having the opportunity as a Black man to grow old, we wish that for the people who we know and don't know, for the artists that are famous and for the ones that are coming up, for the ones that nobody will ever know your name. We celebrating you today because we want you to know that literally this is not a whether one life matters or it doesn't. If you are here on earth today, God said your life mattered today.
That's right.
So you ain't got to buy no t-shirt. You ain't, it don't matter whether you out in them streets vote. If you or all of y'all on this page are of age, use your voice in a positive way, because literally that is why we get to have another day. When it is no longer our day to be here, that means that God's finished work has done whatever it was supposed to do. It'd be like, okay, Karen, now somebody else gonna do it. In between that dash, make sure every day count. Y'all know all of the things that we do on this side.
Right. And in making every day count, I'm sitting here and that words start bubbling up in here. The only thing I was thinking was, just walk as you're living out your dash, and this is from the Unhinged Radio Show live to all of you. Know that no weapon formed against you prosper if you keep your focus on the right gaze, if that makes any sense.
That's right. Facts.
All of the things. I want to share a little bit because this is it's not a secret, but I don't know if it's a well-known fact that people know, Rasheem Kilo Pugh, that you have worked a little bit on the gospel side yourself. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, and I'm gonna share a little bit. Let me see if this thing let me what it let me do.
We all technical and things. Look at us. We teenagers now, girl.
That part we're gonna do something. We're gonna see if it let me do something. That's what we're gonna see. Let me see if it let me do something.
Thank y'all for hanging with us tonight. We appreciate you.
Taking you back. Many of y'all remember this song.
I'm singing in there too.
I know. And now they know too.
I hear a little Jersey swag on that.
I called my mother from the studio and let her talk to CeCe Winans. She was so excited.
All of the things, taking you back to to some moments where it's like, how life kind of, and I don't even want to call it full circle. This is you on the journey of the hip hop artistry, the rap music, the commercial. Well, we ain't even talk about the commercials, but the commercials, the soundtracks, and then right there, smack in the middle of all of this is this gospel song.
Right.
What?
Wait. All right, y'all. I just posted Natural D's comment, not Jesus' sister herself.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Kilo got to work with Jesus' sister D.
Yes.
Oh, snap.
All of the fun. I had to share that one because we just never know how things kind of come together. So the work and you're well known for the work that you've done with Lauryn Hill and on the project of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. But a lot of people don't know, he out here in these streets singing gospel with Jesus' sister. Now go ahead on and go to your YouTube.
I'm a PK, all right?
Say it again for the people who are struggling with their own identity.
And look, I'm gonna make it real interesting. I'm a Muslim PK.
That part.
Ooh.
But we know Mama's still yet praying for all of the things concerning you.
They weren't ready for that one.
Salam alaikum, brother.
All of that, listen. if you loving God and you loving people, you our kind of people. So that's it. Everything else. That's it.
Right.
That is it. But that's it's an important thing to understand that you never know where your talent is going to take you. You never know what doors your gifts are going to open for you. For all of you who come and you join us, y'all know we about that positivity. We are about the encouragement and to remind you that literally you are more than the members that you see today. So what you see on today is just really you saying yes to a moment for the gifting that God has put inside of you, and literally the world will know your name in the way that he wants them to know your name. So maybe your journey is not that you got the stories of I just thought she was cute. That always cracked me up. I was trying to holler at her like who
I was trying to push up.
Only my homeboy Rasheem Kilo Pugh, and I love the realness that you always come with. I promise you, as him being a friend and a longtime supporter, and me being able to see him grow up from then till now, the realness is what you always get. So this ain't, I'm glad that he tried to act right while he was on here with us, because he from that. It could be whatever.
It could have been whatever.
It could have been whatever. Listen,
right.
And I just appreciate the person that he is, not just to me, but literally how God continues to use you, brother. You already know. It's a stone cold blast when we get together, so it's never an issue on that side. I'm glad to have the opportunity to share your talents and keep all of the things. Now listen, you got to go back to the people in your camp, because you got a bunch of women and men in your camp that you got to tell them it's cuffing season. So you got to take that message back. Make sure that they got the PSA.
It's cuffing season.
And remind us to do that background check.
Look, I'm going to forward the link to him.
And fast forward to what minute when we were in the segment?
I don't even know.
Put it right there and just push play. Check it out. Before we segue into our next segment, Kilo, can you tell our listeners where they can connect with you on social media and how they can get in contact with you if they have, interest in working with you on that collab tip?
I am the easiest find. Rasheem Kilo Pugh in Google, and it'll lead you right to me. Facebook.
Because your IMD popped right up, but not that I was in your business.
Yeah, look, I'm the easiest find. I'm not hard to find at all. You know my name, you can get to my inbox.
That part.
That's what's up. So look, Thank you all again for hanging on in here with us tonight. It has been a load of laughter. Did y'all feel the splash from the joy tsunami that you just experienced? I hope you do. And I hope you are dripping with so much joy. You already know what time it is. We're getting ready to go into yet another impactful segment from our very own in-house master life coach, our very own Karen Ann Sims of Twisted Threads. Take it away, sis.
Listen, we get in, we hit heavy, and then we move on out the way. It's Karen Sims of Twisted Threads with your reflection of purpose. And today, we always do a title. It ain't gonna be no different on election day. Help from your friends is what the title is today. And I want to highlight what you've seen here today is literally my everyday life. And I challenge you all to literally connect with those people who can push you higher, who can push you a little bit further, who believe in you in times maybe when you don't believe in yourself. And honey, if you don't got them in your corner, you can always meet us right here at the Unhinged Radio Show live. And we will be those people, those folks that will push you further. Why? Because the song says how far we can go with a little help from our friends. So I want to remind you to stack your deck. If you don't have the people who are solely positive, and maybe you got those depressed folks in your life, you might need to kind of swap them out and replace them. You need to do inventory of who all is on your squad. Because see, one of the things that we talked about the privilege of Black men being able to grow old, the privilege to be a queenager, requires for us to not only be wise, but to walk in wisdom at different sections of our life. The things that we did when we were 20, we can't do now. One, because our knees won't let us, but that's a whole nother story. House music was a different experience when we was 20. Honey, at 49 and 50 and 51, you're going to get a chair bop and be okay with it. Make sure that you stack your squad to ensure that you're setting yourself up for success. And y'all know, as always, I'm here for the cake. I'm here for the celebration. You give mine a cupcake because we still got to be careful out in these COVID, RSV, and flu streets. So send me my individually wrapped cupcake. But remind yourself of who is around you, of who is in your circle. Take inventory, switch up. Listen, today you'll see a white and a purple flower. Tomorrow it's going to be orange and pink. The same type of prerogative that we take when we get dressed in the morning, that's the ability that you have to stack your deck for success. So for all the people who joined us on, whether it was YouTube, Facebook, whatever page you saw us on, we thank you for joining and rocking with us. As you seen today, I could not lose if I wanted to, with a squad with people like Rasheem Pugh, with my sister Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford. Listen, I'm living the life, and I really wanted Rasheem to wear the t-shirt that I told him he made for me, because it says, "Your vacation is my lifestyle." And I always remind him. He said that to me the first time that we met each other back here in North Carolina. He said, "You on vacation." Some of us have to take a moment to be able to do that. We create the opportunity for your lifestyle to look like somebody else's vacation because you took the time to pour into you. Listen, do something great with a little bit of help from your friends.
Do something great with a little help from your friends. Thank you so much for watering us with your wisdom on tonight, Karen. Again, I want to say thank you to tonight's guest. Thank you, Mr. Pugh, King Pugh. And again, thank you, Karen. And thank you for those of you who are just sticking around here in these comment street. Y'all already know what it is. I'm getting ready to end the show with what I always encourage you to do. Just be. And I promise you, I wrote this down before they got to jibbing and chitting and chatting and sharing what they had to say. So tonight's Just Be is just be focused. As you just heard Karen share, sometimes you gotta your hair accessories, just like you change your clothes every day. And I'm gonna invite you to just be focused on you. Do your mirror work. Find that one thing that you do well and water it. And guess what? Your flower is going to bloom as long as you continue to pay some attention to it. And I, as long as I can remember and I enjoy flowers, no two roses ever look the same. In particular, the two roses that had the audacity to bloom through the concrete. It's your girl, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims, and our wonderful guest tonight. Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Unhinged radio show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, the notification bell, so that you can be notified when we're gonna go live. You never know where we're gonna be popping up. As Karen always tells you at the top of the show, keep your passports ready. We are going and growing. Looking forward to great things in 2022. And 2023. And we out. Yeah, that was prophetic again. Later, y'all.
Peace.